I just recently did a presentation at a local high school where we introduced the concept of executive function, but also answered some questions that parents had. One of the questions we wanted to address was, why is this thing, executive function, harder for some kids than others? Why do some brains find it easy to organize their stuff? Why do some brains struggle with getting started on boring tasks? And really, what we came up with was, thing number one is that the prefrontal cortex, which is the part right here behind my finger, my forehead, this part of our brain is where all of these executive functions live. And that portion of your brain does not fully develop until now scientists are saying mid-20s, maybe even later. Some of my students that I work with think, oh, well, probably 18 is when your brain is fully developed. You have a fully grown-up brain. But no, the prefrontal cortex doesn't fully develop until your mid-20s and sometimes later. So that's one thing, is that brains are just learning how to do these things throughout normal development. Another thing that is tricky is that learning differences like ADHD, like autism spectrum disorder, like other types of learning differences, make it challenging, especially challenging to do these executive functions. And then the last thing that I like to talk about, and I mentioned it at my presentation the other day, is that some brains just don't match up with the expectations of a traditional school. And we can be, as teachers, we can be, and schools, we can be better at this. These skills, I've learned in my research, these skills must be taught. They must be explicitly taught. And we are not doing a great job, I don't think, at teaching. We expect kids to know how to do these things, get their homework done, write down an assignment, break up a big project into small bits, but we're not always teaching it. Are teachers doing this in their classrooms? You betcha. But as a whole, I think it's the missing link in schools. So there are many reasons why this might be a challenge for your student, this executive function business. I want you to love your kid, connect with your kid, and let's get away from shaming kids for this stuff. And let's work on teaching and using language that is not so negative around it. I'm Carrie Bonnett, Executive Function Coach. Take good care.